Shalom, Israel. We had a little technical difficulty. It's hot up in here, as that worldly prophet Nelly would say. It's getting hot up in here, man. You understand? But we back in effect. Um, but yeah, so you know, the most dangerous thing to a people, to a nation trying to build and come back together, is a slave who thinks that he's free. You understand? So Christ had to come to the Jews and to his people and let them know that even though you're able to walk around and go to the grocery store, drop your kids off at daycare, take your kids to gymnastics, go to go to the movies, go to the poetry lounge, go to a concert, you know what I'm saying? Just because you're able to get on a plane and fly to an island, you know what I'm saying, for a vacation, that doesn't mean that you're free. You understand? And Christ is about to get into that. You understand? Go ahead. Verse 32 again.
Verse 30.
Hey, sis. Go ahead and take her over there with you. And you deal with her. Go ahead.
Book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Right. Part of you being free is you knowing the truth. Not a part of the truth, but the whole truth. You understand? That's the only way for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to be free, is to know the entire truth, man. You understand? Just because you're a Hispanic that's 3 generations removed from Mexico doesn't make you better than your brother that's still in Mexico, that's trying to come across the border and find a better life. You both are in the same oppression. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 33. They answered him, we be Abraham's seed.
Right.
And were never in bondage to any man.
Uh-huh.
How sayest thou, ye shall be made free?
You talk to some so-called Latinos or Hispanics, some so-called Negroes, you know what I'm saying, any of the 12 tribes that are living in America and feel like they have some sense of accomplishment, and you tell them that we're slaves, and they'll look at you like you're crazy. I'm not a slave. I got a car. I have a driver's license. I have a passport. You understand? Your ability to move, you know what I mean, through America doesn't mean that you're free. Slaves had an ability to move on their plantation. Right. They could walk from the cotton field and from the cotton field back to their house. You understand? They could walk from they could walk, get up in the morning, leave the sugarcane. Leave their house and walk to the sugarcane fields, work their 12 hours, and go back to their little slave hut. You understand? But ultimately, what were they? Slaves. They were slaves, man. And we think, and there's nothing wrong with pushing education to your children. You should definitely push education. But the education of your oppressor does not make you free. The truth of God, the truth of the Most High is what makes you free.
Right.
Okay? Keep reading.
Verse 34. Jesus answered them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin.
Committeth what?
Committeth sin.
Whosoever commits what?
Sin. Is the servant of sin. Right.
They asked the question, how shall we be made free? And Christ's response to them was whosoever committeth sin, it becomes the servant of sin. So I have a question for the class. You know what I'm saying? What is sin to our people? What is sin to any so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian? And for you officers, if you give me the answer, I need the precept. If you get the right answer, I want the precept that goes with it. Okay? But for the class right now, what is sin to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? I'm gonna give y'all some time. Sis, you had your hand raised? Say that again.
Sex before marriage.
Huh?
Sex before marriage, they would consider that sin.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. No. Okay. That's why I was a little confused because you're speaking from the standpoint of how a Christian would look at it. No, I'm saying in the truth, what is sin to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Yeah. Hold on to the sister. Don't. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, so like I ain't got the chat up. Okay, so the sis said transgression of the law. Yes, sis, That is correct. Sin is the transgression of the law. But okay, let me help you out a little bit. When I say what is sin to our people, I don't want to give it away. Is there any since you're correct, I don't want to make it seem like you're not right. You're right. But I'm looking for something else though. Okay. Anybody else? Officers? What is sin to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Go ahead, priest.
If you don't go to church.
Huh?
If you don't go to church.
No, for us, for black. No. When I say so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, I mean for our nation as a nation. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a transgression of the law.
Right. The sister already said that, but I'm looking for something that's correct. But I'm looking for something different. What does sin? If I say this, y'all gonna know what it is. I don't want to give it away, but I'll go ahead and help y'all out. What does sin lead to? What does it?
Oh, death.
Say it again. Death. Give him a hand. Right. I'm trying to ask questions where I don't give it away. You know what I mean? So Salakia. But he's right. Sin leads to death. You understand? Sin is death. What is death? Is death just dying and getting put in the grave? What is death to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Oh, I see you, sis. Death. She said death. That's correct. But what is death? Is death just you dying and your heart doesn't beat no more and you transition? We have funerals. Black people have funerals, every week. What's death for us? For us, what is death according to God? I'll wait a little bit. If an officer has an answer, go ahead, priest. Salakia.
You said, what is death according to the Most High? Or is it like I missed part of the question?
When we say when we say that sin is death, what does that mean? Go ahead.
The curses, suffering, the punishment.
Give him a hand. It's the curses, man. You understand? So what Christ is trying to get across to our people is this: is that they thought because they were able to have in the marketplace, they were able to sell their goats, they were able to sell their cattle, they were able to sell their turtle doves and their pigeons, right? They were able to sell their ceramics, their clay pottery. They were able to have their have their little villages and whatnot. All we do is pay taxes. Caesar kills the rebels, right? He kills the people that are that are bad. But for the most part, we're free. But what Christ was saying is if you haven't embraced your culture completely, if you don't understand the law, the spirit of the law, and if you're not worshiping God in spirit and in truth, which is to worship Him, understanding the spirit of the law with zeal and doing it according to what the Bible actually says, right? Then you are a servant of sin, man. You're a servant to the curses. And the curses result in what? Sickness, a lack of national power, right? As a nation, you're captive to your oppressors and to your enemies. You have to go to them for all your wants and needs. Right. Where are the Negroes with the factory that makes diapers for our children? Where are the black people in the so-called Latinos or Hispanics who have a factory that makes baby formula? We don't have it. So when the Lord strikes Babylon, America, with the plague, and there's a drought, you understand, and baby formula and baby food, we have no recourse. Right. Some of our sisters don't even know the art of breastfeeding or of storing breast milk. You know what I mean? Their first thought is to go to infant meal. You understand? So when our oppressor, when his system shuts down, guess what? We shut down as well because we're not on our system. Our system is the kingdom of God, man. What Christ was doing is he was going to the 12 disciples and he was teaching them, Salakia, he was making not just the 12 disciples, him making disciples and gathering brothers unto himself. He was educating them and restoring them back to rulership. When he said, if you continue in my word, you'll be my disciples, right? And if you continue in my word and in this truth, you'll be free. A free man is not a slave. But America has given us this American nightmare where we believe that freedom is, a CEO salary or position. Freedom is a master's degree. Freedom is having the what is it, 2.3 kids, the white picket fence, the tire hanging from the oak tree, in a 2-story house. That's not freedom according to God. Freedom according to God is rulership of the planet. Right. It's having rulership over our enemies, man. You understand? But what we settle for is no brotherhood and oppressing our own people and serving our oppressor, man. You understand? Let me go ahead and let me see what that say. Oh yeah, damn right, sis. Voting too. You understand? That like the priest was bringing out earlier, we think that voting is going to change the situation. Voting is a mechanism of illusion, man. You understand? I say this all the time. When I taught pre-K for 5 years in Atlanta, Georgia, and for any of y'all who are in who are in early child education, you got to get your lessons together, your plans together a week in advance. That means you got to plan for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And you have to have it from the time you come into the building. When I say the activities, the lessons, it has to be all planned out from A to Z each day, right? So usually, they'll give us a teacher's day or whatever day to have that time to be able to set up for the upcoming week. In that level of organization, you basically have already established what the choices are for the children that are in your class.
Right.
So what does every kid want to do all day long? Recess. Right. The only other option that they want maybe is lunch. You know what I'm saying? That's the only other thing that's going to make them happy. But outside of that, they want to be out there in that playground, on them slides, running around on the little tricycles and all that. They want to be outside kicking the balls, playing all day. Okay? So within the confines of that room, you might have the library with the bean bags. You know what I'm saying? You got the little plastic dinosaurs over here. You got the wood blocks. You understand? You got the cars. You know what I'm saying? You got you know what I'm saying, the water play. You know what I'm saying? You got the sand play, right? So what would happen a lot is when the kids would get up from their nap, the first thing they want to do is I ain't gonna say what my filthy name was, but they're asking me, Mr., yada yada, can we go outside? No, you can't go outside. Now someone want to pull tantrums. All right. So what I say is, well, listen, we this is not the time for us to go outside right now. But what you can do is you can either do the library or you can play with the plastic dinosaurs or play or do sand play. I gave them their options. So in me giving them options, they felt like they had what? Freedom. Salakia. I'm sorry, Salakia priest. They felt like they had freedom. And giving them that mechanism of illusion, it calmed them down. Everybody didn't go haywire and crying and kicking and having tantrums, because why? If you distract somebody with another activity, they'll forget about what they really wanted, which was to be free and to go outside and play how they wanted to play, man. And that's what voting does for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. It gives us the illusion that we can actually affect and make change. And even though every 4 to 8 years we see the same cycles repeating over and over again, the hopes of a new leader, right? Oh, maybe he's the one. Listen, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the only one for us is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who the world knows as Jesus Christ, man. He is the only leader for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And on earth, as it stands right now, is Commandant General Yohana, man. There is no other salvation and hope for our people, man. Voting will get us nowhere. You understand? Voting is the activity of slaves.
Right.
You understand? You know what voting is? Voting is a function of democracy, right? And democracy is two wolves in discussing what's for dinner. You understand? That's democracy. That's your vote. You got two wolves in a lamb, and all right, we gonna take a vote, y'all. What's for dinner? Does the sheep have any power in that situation? It's the majority vote. You understand? So we have to understand that our only source of power is in the Most High, our culture, which comes out of these scriptures and each other. You understand? But we're turning on each other and we're trying to gain a seat with our oppressor, and we end up oppressing our own people. I'm gonna go ahead and exactly, sis. That's exactly like a pacifier. Exactly. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. You know what I'm saying? 1 second. And the water to y'all for enduring with your brother. You know what I'm saying? We got a, you know what I mean, the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You know what I mean? Go ahead and do that. All right. 1 second. Hey, how do I change the screen, man, to where it's showing me and the...
So would you want the side?
Okay, that's it. Well, let me do the bigger one where it's me small. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Dang, it really made me miniature.
Yeah, you can. I wish it would.
You know what I mean?
It might. Shit. This shit. This one right here.
Let me see. Ooh. Let me try this one. Yeah, we'll do it like this. Let me see how this look. I'm gonna play this video, man. This is a let me see how this look. Nah, that ain't gonna work. No sweat. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, y'all. This is basically dealing with Border Patrol, man. And also I gotta find this preset before I get this, man. 1 second. Y'all just bear with me 1 second. Yeah, but it's like one of them weird ones. Yeah, I'm saying? That's why I'm getting to myself. You know what I mean? You ain't really heard it like that. Give me I know some Proverbs though. Proverbs 28:3. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, y'all. You understand? And Carcass, that article I gave you on Border Patrol, if you could pull that up as well. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to have love for our people and show brotherhood, man, we can't participate in the things that oppress our people, man. But y'all go ahead and check this out. All right.
Well, Shelly, I was down at the border traveling with these agents who tell me that their ethnicity doesn't matter when they're doing their job.
That's heavy. I got to pause right there. You all hear that? Your ethnicity doesn't matter when you're doing your job. In order for you to be a functioning member of society in this hell, you have to forget who you are. That's basically what the sister was saying. That these Border Patrol agents, in their mind, their ethnicity has nothing to do with what they're doing as a job. That's heavy, man. Go ahead and run that back, man.
These agents who tell me that their ethnicity doesn't matter doing their job.
When I was little, I wanted to be a cop. As I grew up, I started getting towards engineering. But once I was in college, I chose this route.
As a child,
that's heavy. He said when he was a young kid, he wanted to be a cop. But as he got older, right, he got involved in engineering, right? An actual trade that would have no necessarily negative impact on his people. But he said when he got to college, and I understand why he got to college, because I'm sure any of y'all who have dealt with a community college or a regular college, what is the main thing that affects you in college? That's not the answer I'm looking for, but that does affect you in college. What is the main driving force when you're in college? Unless you have a... Go ahead, Cargazai. Money. Give him a hand. Money. It's funny how as a young kid he wanted to be a cop, you know, and that's you know, kids have those kind of dreams, right? Fireman, cop, doctor. But as he got older, his passion was engineering. But he got to college for engineering. He said, you know what? I want to be a Border Patrol agent again. Because why? Finances. Let's keep playing.
Fidel Baca knew he wanted to go into law enforcement, but he didn't necessarily know it would be as a Border Patrol agent.
At first, I was kind of nervous about what might say specific, and he didn't say, oh, he was fine with it. No.
He was nervous about what his father would say about it. Go ahead, priest.
If I could.
Yes.
This sounds exactly like what it is for a homosexual to come out the club.
Good night.
They say, yeah, even when I was young, I felt like I liked X, Y, or Z, or whatever the case. And I was worried about what my parents would say about it. Because they know that they are not going with what their instincts tell them.
Right.
They're going with what they've learned from this community, this society that is Babylon, America, man.
Right.
This is a Hispanic man making himself the enemy of every Hispanic everywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Without even realizing it. And what's so heavy about what you're saying, priest, is he had a moment of moral clarity. He had enough sense to say, well, what is my dad going to think about this? What's my father going to think about this? Why? Because his father is the link to what? The history. It's what's handed down. And his father said what? Oh, okay. No sweat. This is why we cannot condemn the youth. I know it disgusts you to see the youth wearing female jeans. I know it disgusts you to see the youth getting in shootouts in the middle of the street and 14 people get shot and die, right? South Philly. I know it disgusts you, but we can't blame the children, man, for a problem that stems back 50 to 60 years, man. You understand? Listen, if you saw a garden, right, that's supposed to be a vegetable garden, a fruit garden, right, or an orchard, and you see it covered in weeds, and the fruit is all molded, and the branches have fell down, and nobody is tended to this garden, are you going to get upset at the garden? You're going to look for the garden keeper, the groundskeeper, because it's his responsibility to make sure that the critters don't get inside and destroy the crops and the food, and that they make sure that the garden is tended to, which they pulled out the weeds and all that. We can't get mad at our children because we are the gatekeepers, man. It's on us. In the ISUPK, we take that responsibility, but your church leaders haven't. Your Catholic priests haven't. They have perpetuated the very psychological system, like the sis said earlier, the Stockholm syndrome, that has kept us in mental bondage to our slave masters, man, to our oppressors, man. You understand? And now we look at the kids in disgust when they're our responsibility, man. You understand? A man can't have a household that's out of order and disarray and get mad at his wife and his children. He got to take a look in himself. If you're a single mother and your kids are in disarray, you can't get mad at the kids. Now, if you're laying down what's true and what's right, that's one thing. But we have to be accountable for, each of us have to be accountable for the part that we play and how we contribute to the condition of our people. Oh, please, priest, go ahead.
And if I could, it shows the importance of the role of a father.
That's right.
He is validated by the words of his father. He's on national.
That's heavy, man.
Right now.
And give him a hand, man. Give him a hand, man. That's a fact, man. Salaki, go ahead.
You're right. It's right on. The first thing he says before he even starts about his own feelings, the first in the mingle of his words is what his father thought.
That's right.
What his father allowed. If his father condemned him or accepted him taking this wicked position that pays well, man. And that's something we discredit so much. We as adults, you're smoking weed right now with your daughter and your son,
right? And
you're saying, "Well, I smoke weed. How can I tell them not to do it?"
Good night.
Don't be a weak cow.
Don't be a weak parent, man.
Don't be a weak parent.
That's heavy, man.
Don't you actually want better for them? Don't you actually want to give them a better life, like y'all all say on Facebook? Goddamn, you're in the strip club twerking. Don't give it to her, Cardi B. That's what Cardi B doing. Cardi B was a stripper who finessed cats and got them set up.
Right.
She is not giving that to her daughter.
Man, good night. She has the common sense. She at least has the sense that God gave an ant. You know what I'm saying? She has the sense that God gave an aunt to turn the music off.
Right.
But if she is the one that's putting this music out and has the sense to cut off in front of her child, why are you playing it all day long in the house?
Right.
When you clean up the house,
Right.
or when you're chilling. I mean, I seen a video on the book where a sister was giving her baby a bottle and smoking a blunt, and the baby is like rubbing its eyes and like it's like sitting there like, oh my gosh, like it's the baby is oppressed and she's blowing the weed smoke over the baby's face, man. You understand? And what the priest is bringing out is so heavy because he's saying don't be weak to your children. Why? Because weak mothers and weak fathers produce weak children, and those weak children grow up to oppress their own people, man, and make their people and their nation weak. Let's keep playing this video, man. Salakia, priest, did you have anything else you want to say? Salakia.
Just cap it off.
Damn right.
And your children are going to be validated in whatever they do by what you did to them.
Right.
You know how hard it is to fight out of let alone your mother is on crack. But if your mother is giving you crack, you know how hard it is to fight out of a hole of that nature.
Right.
You're setting your children up to be destroyed.
That's right.
And if you can't even just say don't do it, just say don't be gay, just say don't do drugs.
Right.
I don't even give a damn if you do it at this rate.
Right.
But now we have sunken so low to where we passing the blunt to our babies, shotgunning a toddler in the face. You know what I'm saying? Blowing weed smoke in a little baby's face. You're disgusting.
That's
and
right.
You're the curse.
Right.
That is in our nation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Salakia.
No, give him a hand, man. Give him a hand, man. And priest, you want to say something? Okay, no sweat. So just to add to the to the priest's point, what if the father has said to his son, "No, son, don't do that. That you're going to be hurting our people." Because of the respect that he has for his father, he may or may not have, but he would have at least took it into a deeper consideration, the impact that it was going to have on his own people. But let's go ahead and finish the video. Salakia.
We didn't say anything at all, so I was pretty happy about that.
According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, more than half of Border Patrol...
Y'all heard that? He said he was happy about that. His dad didn't say nothing at all. Why? Because it eased his conscience, man. You understand? When you sit there and let your kids smoke weed, I'd rather them do it at home instead of doing it out there with strangers. You're making it easy for them to not want to fight. Because let me tell y'all something, man. To be in the truth is a fight, man. For you to be in this truth, you have to fight against your lust, man. You have to fight against the temptation to betray your people. It's not easy. You understand? I'm having a conversation with my son, and he's about the Pledge of Allegiance. He was like, "Dad, we have to say it." He's 9 years old. We have to say it. You know what I mean? Or we get in trouble. They put us in the principal's office. Now he my son don't live with me 100% of the time, so I'm not going to burden my son and afflict him. I told him, I said, "Son, as you get older, you're gonna have to be able to take a stand." But the point is that he feels that pressure right now, the pressure to conform. But what he sees is his father standing up for something, man. And our children need to see us stand up for something and have some moral principles and some integrity, man. You understand? But unfortunately, this brother right here, his father didn't have that integrity, so it made it easy for him to bend over. You understand? Let's get back to the video. Salakia. We're gonna let it run.
Agents are Latino, Baca being one of them.
I am, just like you said, Latino, Hispanic descent. Both my parents are immigrants. Both of them are now naturalized U.S. citizens. My oldest sibling, she went to school in Mexico, and she's also a naturalized U.S. citizen. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're a law enforcement agency.
Border Patrol agents I spoke to, both on and off camera, say for them this is a job, career, and their ethnicity shouldn't play a part in this.
Wow, man. Y'all hear that? Their ethnicity should not play a part in what they're doing, man. You understand? This is a heavy thing. And this is why that Commander General Yohana and the ISUPK is so vital for our people right now. Because see, what like Captain Kahan Thamyad of 13,000 over the South says that the most important card is the race card, man. You understand? Everybody else is utilizing and profiting and benefiting off of their ethnicity, off of their race. We're the only people who look at it as dispensable. When the Lord said in Deuteronomy 7:6 that we were above all nations, that our ethnicity was the key to our agreement with him. You understand that his covenant and agreement with us is based on who your father was, man. You understand? And who your son is, all the way down the line. And now in 2022 in America, we not only look at ourselves as our ethnicity is not important, but because we devalue our ethnicity, who else do we devalue? The people who share our ethnicity, man.
Right.
You understand? Now it becomes a tradable commodity. Now it's something that I can exchange for a price, man. And you know, and I'm you know, I ain't gonna go there yet, but I'm gonna get there, you know, in a little bit. Let's go ahead and continue playing the video. Oh, Priest, I'm sorry, you had something you want to say?
Oh, Slocky, just real quick. It's so heavy because, like, what you were saying earlier, like he went to his father to make sure basically it was okay for him to do something that he knew was wrong.
Right.
He wouldn't have felt that confliction to go to his father.
That's a fact.
But then
that's a fact.
They also brought up that his parents are naturalized U.S. citizens.
Right. Go ahead, Priest.
Like before you could even be a U.S. citizen or on topic Hispanic, to separate yourself from those so-called Mexicans,
right?
Your descendants have to be a Negro. You have to be a nigga before you can call yourself an African American and separate yourself.
That's
like
heavy.
Before you can be a U.S. citizen, you have to have been a Mexican who was trying to do the thing that you're now getting paid to stop people from doing. So like,
no, you don't give him a hand. Like that's, you know, it's funny, man. You know, Paul was a Benjamite. You know what I'm saying? He said, you're Israel. I'm also Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin. You understand? He knew his ethnicity. Now, did he utilize his citizenship? Yes. Because when he was in certain countries, when he would say, I'm a Roman citizen, that's like me saying I have a passport. You ain't finna, I can go over here and visit my people in Puerto Rico. Actually, you don't need a passport to go to Puerto Rico. But I can go to Brazil and go visit my people and go speak to my people and help my people in Brazil because I have a passport. I'm a U.S. citizen. Now, I'm saying that, but that doesn't mean that I believe that I'm an actual flag-waving patriot. I'm not going to the Trump rallies. You understand? I'm not standing with them. I'm in the projects. You understand? I'm in the apartment houses, man. I'm with my people, man, who are suffering. But Paul utilized his knowledge of his political environment to do the things, to do the work of the Lord. You understand? And there's a distinction between that and what's going on with these people, man, where they're trying to make the life in America their life. Right. You understand? And it's no life at all. It's no life at all. It's just the life of a slave. Right. You know, you getting a $40 million contract to run down a field and slam a ball on the other side of the field. That don't make you free because you got a white woman on your arm now, and you getting $40 million a year. Tear that hamstring and see what your value is to your oppressor. Then let that white woman decide she didn't have enough of you and she didn't marry you long enough to go ahead and divorce you and take half of what you got through alimony and the rest of it through child support. Right. And now you have to run in that field, run just to make sure that Amy and your son Brad and your daughter Chelsea, which you wouldn't have named them if you had married a black woman, that they're taken care of. Right. Come on, man. All right, let's go ahead and finish this video. Salakia.
I took this job because of a race, because of my culture. I took this job because I have an interest in protecting peoples and protecting my country.
Ooh, hold on, let me run that back. I gotta run that back. Hold on, let me run that back. Listen
and their
to
ethnicity
him,
shouldn't play a part in this.
I didn't take this job because of a race, because of my culture. I took this job because I have an interest in protecting peoples and protecting the country.
For agents, it doesn't.
That's heavy, man. I gotta stop, y'all. I know they probably like this. He keeps stopping the video. Listen, man. He said, I didn't take this job because of my race, my culture, right? My ethnicity. He said, I took this job to protect people. His instinct was to say to protect my people. But he knew he couldn't say my people because why? America is ran by the white man, and he knows instinctively that that's not his people. So he had to say to protect people in general. But then he said also what? To protect my country. They wave. Y'all ever seen them? Like, well, I don't know. Maybe you ever seen those pictures of like them cartoons where like is somebody riding a donkey, but to make the donkey move, you got to hold out the carrot stick on a fishing pole, and the donkey moves because it's trying to eat the carrot, but you just hold it in front of it. It never eats the carrot, and that's how you ride that donkey to get to your destination by putting something in front of it that it wants but never gets. That's what this border patrol agent, this brother who ain't really a brother. He's a brother, but he ain't being a brother to his brothers. You understand? He's chasing something that he's never gonna get, man. And he has to reprogram his own mind, to reprogram his own thinking, because he's going against his own spirit. You saw him battling his own spirit in his answer. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Christ said to come to him, you have to deny yourself. But what are we denying? We're denying the indoctrination of our oppressor that has been drilled inside of us, man. But in order for him to serve the oppressor and to serve America and to be a border patrol agent, he has to deny who he is, which is what? His race, his culture, his people. He can't be a defender and a protector of his people. He has to be a protector of what? All people. Right. Because why? God loves everybody. This is Christianity, man. This is a product of the Spanish murdering indigenous South Americans and making them bow down to Cesare Borgia into a cross. You understand? To let their sons be molested by priests as altar boys, and to take on the idolatry of Catholicism, man. Right. You understand? Go ahead, priest Salakia.
Oh, Salakia, as you speaking, it's just like it's so heavy because he said to protect people. What people? Because as a border patrol agent,
right,
you have to know that they just denied. They just allowed the
Afghanistans.
They just let them over here with not only just let them over free willingly, but they stipends and money.
Facts.
And while also before that denying Mexican and Haitian brothers and sisters from coming over here.
Right. And so like your priest, to just to add to your point, that migrant caravan, the bulk of the caravan was Venezuelans, but it was Haitians and Hondurans. You understand? So they're still fleeing poverty and destruction in their countries, trying to find a refuge and a safe haven here in America, man. And they broke up the caravan. Right. They broke it up. You understand? And for what? Because on the precipice was the American summit that Joe Biden went to, man. And let me tell y'all something, man. I don't want to veer off the topic, but it's getting deep on the political landscape, man. They banned Venezuela from coming to the summit because of the Bitcoin situation with the Venezuelan president. He has made Bitcoin the national currency. Number two is because of the fact that they don't want to deal with the trade policies of America. They're trying to link it with Russia. You know who else is linking up with Russia in South America? Nicaragua. They just allow Russian troops to come in to train their people and on emergency drills. You understand? Listen, it's going down, man. You understand? And what we have to do is what the scriptures say in Zephaniah 2:1 is gather ourselves together, man. Right. The Lord is causing all these pieces to move on the chessboard to put us back in rulership, man. And what we can't do in this late hour, as the scriptures say in Romans, it's high time that we awake out of our sleep, man. Right. Listen, the only way for you to have a dream is to be what? Is to be asleep, man. Right. In order for you to be committed to the American dream, you have to be asleep. Right. But the dream for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is the kingdom of God. Right. It's Christ in rulership over the 144,000 from each of the 12 tribes, and us ruling over the earth, putting things back in order, man. Where our sisters don't have to worry about how they wear their hair to a slave. No, they're gonna have 30 slaves, and they're gonna have all their edges. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, the scriptures say that in a twinkling of an eye, we all gonna be changed. Lord willing, for the sisters, they get all their edges back. You know what I'm saying? And for us brothers who got the receding hairline, you know what I'm saying? We get that back too. You know what I'm saying? We get restored to our primary condition, man. You dig what I'm saying? And to be in a position to where we don't have to deny our race, deny our culture, deny who we are and what we are to appease and to conform and to seek the love of them that hate us, man. That's what salvation is. Somebody get me that. I don't know if it's Luke 168. Go ahead and give me that real quick, man. Because a lot of us are confused about what salvation is. That's why we want to give it away to everybody. But salvation can't be for everybody because everybody's not going through what we're going through. You understand? Oh, priest, go ahead. Salaki.
If I could, that video, just on the flip side of that video,
Right.
It's so heavy because the thing is that, yeah, he's going against, he knows he's doing it wrong, and the rest of his people, they sign so-called freedom, right? That's what police officer does too, you know what I mean?
Right.
Our brothers, they go into these forces, that's what they're doing, they are benefit of the oppression of our people.
Right.
So that's the same thing as a drug dealer too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These cops arresting these drug dealers, they the same people. Because
right.
The drug dealers sell dope to our people.
Right.
You still oppressing our people.
No, because now I gotta bring out the precept. Who had that Proverbs 28:3? I need someone else to read that. Brought y'all Baba Kishar, if you could, priest. Yeah, because I want y'all to so I get priest. 1 second, let me get back on the screen. I want y'all to hear this, man, because what the priest just brought out is heavy. In order for you to be a functioning member of the American society, you have to take the role of the oppressor. You become of your father, the devil. Right. You understand? But what you don't understand is this. You think that you're a rich man oppressing the poor when you're poor too. Listen, if they gave it to you, they can do what? They can take it away, man. Right. But what the Lord gave us, can't nobody take away. That's right. You understand? That covenant that he gave to Abraham, listen, you are only chosen because of because of the sack that you came out of, man. Because you came out of your daddy's sack, and because his daddy and his daddy and his daddy all run back up to the man Jacob. That's why you're able to that's why God has chosen you and wants to put you on top because of who your father was, man, and for no other reason. You understand? So how can we take that understanding, that truth, and deny that truth and deny who our father was and deny who we are? We make ourselves slaves. This is why Christ said what he said. You shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Because once we know who we are, then we're really free. Right. You understand? We're not trying to act like a king. I'm not trying to make you a king by calling you king. I know that I'm a son of the Most High. That's what Israel means. Yasha'Allah. You understand? It means son of the power, the son of God. Salaki, priest, go ahead. What you gonna say? Salaki.
You know what I'm saying? And this particular matter that you're bringing up is so heavy. This reminds me of a rich man paying 2 homeless people to fight. Wow. This is exactly what that is. A rich man paying another impoverished
That's
man
heavy.
$10 to go wrangle up and throw the other impoverished man in a cage.
Oh my gosh. Hey man, give him a hand, please, yo.
That's exactly what this is.
Good night. Salaki, let me interrupt you. Go ahead, priest.
And it's a very simple solution to get out of this, man. We don't have to beg and scrounge and fight each other to get $1, man. There's a saying that Judites have. There's a saying that blacks, Negroes have in America. And that's get it out the mud. That means we're going to get it out of the earth, out of our own hard work, man. We're going to work as hard as we have.
Out of each other because we're all in the mud.
And that's exactly right.
Yeah.
We got to do it with each other.
Right, man.
I can't get it out the mud if I don't get it with you.
Yo, listen, Salaki, if I could, it said that Pharaoh, when the children of Israel asked Pharaoh to give them mercy, he said, take away the straw. Let them make bricks out of mud. Right. We was getting out the mud in Egypt, man. And guess what? It said that the more he oppressed us, the more that we multiplied, man. Because why? We were together, man. And that's the only way that we're going to be able to get out of whatever we're in is together. Listen, brothers can't look at sisters as the enemy. Sisters can't look at brothers as the enemy. The older can't look at the younger generation as the enemy. The younger generation can't look at the elders as the enemy, man. We have to look at each other and see that it's what the Lord gave us, each other. And that's the only way that we can that we can regain power is by doing things together, man. You got that precept, priest?
Proverbs chapter 28, verse 3.
Proverbs chapter 28, verse 3.
A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain which leaveth no food.
Read that again, priest.
A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain which leaveth no food.
Listen, man, a sweeping rain is like what you would call like a tropical depression or like a hurricane. Now, you have some rainstorms, man, where it like, you know, it just rains and rains and rains. And maybe like the rivers have dried up, the lakes have dried up, and the crops were about to just be destroyed. And a rain comes and it rains and rains and rains, and the earth drinks up the rain. Then you have a sweeping rain. For you sisters who get up every Saturday morning and clean your houses and you sweep your floor, you know what that means, man. You're trying to get all the dirt out your house. A sweeping rain is a rain that comes in with heavy winds. It's heavy winds, and what it does is it brings that rain in, but the winds pull the crops up out the roots, man. And the rain washes the crops away. You understand? So the Bible is likening a poor man, like how the priest just brought out. You know, the oppressor will put a prize on the table. Whoever wins out of this fight, I'll give you a bottle of strong, a bottle of alcohol, or I'll get you a couple of whores for the night. For you all out there who saw Django. Remember when what was his name? Whatever Leonardo DiCaprio. He had both those brothers fight, man, and they were fighting to the death and mauling each other, assaulting each other, doing violence to each other for a bottle of whiskey and a whore, and maybe a turkey leg. And these jobs that they offer us to oppress our people, it's the same thing, man. A poor man who oppresses a poor man is like a sweeping rain which leaves no food, man. Listen, when it's raining outside, does anybody want to be in the rain? No, but rain has a purpose. But a sweeping rain has no purpose but to destroy, man. Right. You understand? And you now become a storm on your own people and destroy your own people and leave nothing for them, man, to gather anything from it, man. Right. You take this job and it benefits yourself, but as a whole, you destroy your own people, man. Right. Go ahead, priest.
It's like after you've eaten, then you're gonna take away the opportunity for your people to eat like it.
No, say that again. Give him a hand, man. I want you to repeat that, man. Because I'm about to play it, and what you're saying is true. Go ahead, priest. Say it again.
They gonna be the sweeping rain from our people coming over trying to eat after they've already eaten.
Right. Like who else does that? The Christian pastor.
Right.
He tells you to tithe and give all your money. He eats off of it, and then when your light bill is due, when your water's about to get cut off, when your gas is about to get cut off, when they're about to come and repo your vehicle, he tells you to pray about it. But he ate off of your obedience. Right. Tithing is a law. But I thought the law was done away with. So why is the Christian pastor telling you to tithe? You understand? Now you're being obedient, but he's using your obedience to oppress you, man. Right. He feeds his kids and sends his kids to private school, right? At whose expense? At the expense of the poor. Right. Okay. Let's exactly, sis. That's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. Let's go ahead and finish this video, Salakia.
For them, this is a job, a career, and their ethnicity shouldn't play a part in this.
I didn't take this job because of a race, because of my culture. I took this job because I have an interest in protecting peoples and protecting my country.
For agents, it doesn't matter if the person crossing the border is Mexican, Russian, Scandinavian, or anything else. They have to inform.
Hold on. Now, I'm listening, y'all. I'm sorry. Like this Tabazar keep just pausing the video. I gotta run this back. What she just said. She's saying that the border agents say they don't care if they're Mexican, Scandinavian, Russian, or any other ethnicity. They're just doing their job. But did the Ukrainians get stopped at the border? No, they had a free pass to come right into America. Yeah, of course you're doing your job because they're telling you leave them alone, but lock them up. Let's watch that again, man. Good night.
it doesn't matter if the person crossing the border is Mexican, Russian, Sabian, or anything else. They have to enforce the law.
A lot of people will tell us that poor people in jail, you're destroying their dreams. Well, I took an oath.
Some believe that Latinos.
He did. Hey, hold on, Salakia, man. Salakia. He took an oath. Guess who else took an oath? We did at Mount Sinai, man. So-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we took an oath, man. We agreed to a covenant. And in that covenant, we were told to love our neighbor as ourselves, man. And now, you know what else he took? He didn't just take an oath. He took the mark of the beast, man. That's what he took. The mark of the beast is in his head and it's in his hand. Because in his head, he's devoted to America, who is oppressing his people. And now he does the works that America would have them do, man. You understand? He thinks he's free, but he's oppressing his own people. He's furthering the slavery and the enslavement of his own people, man. Let's get back to it, man. Good night.
More of these jobs because opportunities in border areas are limited.
Border Patrol is an agency that heavily recruits our communities, particularly communities of color, because they are high-paying jobs.
Border Patrol agents make anywhere from $38,000 to $120,000 per year. In order for an agent to graduate from the academy, they are required to take Spanish courses. Doña Ana County Representative Angelica Rubio believes some Latinos do it out of necessity.
They do it because they need to put food on the table. I don't believe that they necessarily believe in the narrative that this president is inciting.
For whatever reason they work here, however their dream of law enforcement began, all of these men and women have taken an oath. They've pledged to follow the law.
So when I was interviewing several of these agents, many of them kept asking me, why is this a story? Because again, for them, they don't see this, they don't look at this from their ethnicity, they look at this for a job. I mean, they have rules to enforce. But on the other hand, I have spoken with activists who believe that some of these agents are sellouts, and they can't believe that some of these agents are doing this to their own people. So it's kind of hard.
Look at the reaction of the devils, man. You see, listen, man, listen, these white folks are agitated that this slave is even giving up the notion that there's a possibility that they are doing something wrong, man, that our own people are doing something wrong. You can see the discomfort on these devils' faces, man, and watch what they say. Watch what they say, man. And what's so heavy is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're more concerned about your oath to your oppressor than the oath to your power, the Most High God, man, Yahweh, man. Good night. Watch this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something to admire, though, that they just do think this is a really serious job. We take it seriously. We're not worried about who, your ethnicity at all, right. And even the people that
look at her hands. When she said your ethnicity, she did the silhouette of the sister's body. We're not worried. Listen, hold on. We're not worried about your existence. We're not worried about your race, your people, and what they're dealing with and going through. You took an oath to defend us, and because we're all that matters. All lives matter because really our lives matter. Good night, man. You run that back.
we take it seriously. We're not worried about who, your ethnicity at all. Right. And even the people that are apprehending, they say they don't care what, where they're from.
Exactly. And one Border Patrol agent told me that, he doesn't look at his ethnicity.
Look how she's looking at her, man. Look how she's staring at her, man. She's staring at her with utter disgust. Like, just shut your mouth. You're our slaves. You work for us. Go off and do the job. You know what I'm saying?
This is deep.
Good night. Let me write back, man. This sister, a princess who was supposed to have both of them as her slaves, is having to explain the treachery of her own people, man, and trying to be neutral about it.
One Border Patrol agent told me that, he doesn't look at his ethnicity, but he looked a father, just being a father in this situation from that standpoint. That has more of an impact on him than anything else.
It boils down to the one that he mentioned while he was driving, the oath. Period. That's what they're taking a sworn oath.
Exactly.
So doing their job, Marissa. Interesting angle.
No,
Thanks.
Of course. Thank you.
And we want to hear from you.
That's an interesting angle. Thanks. Get out of here. Get out of my studio. Dang. You know what I'm saying? Salakia, man. Like that's y'all saw it, man. That's the embarrassment that you suffer. Listen, man, I'd rather get called a cult leader. You understand? I'd rather get called a racist, you know what I'm saying, than to have to sit before these devils and try to reason with them about the treachery of our own people, man. That's why we have to gather ourselves together, man, as a nation not desired. If you couldn't see that sister, that reporter was not desired in that studio, then you have a veil over your eyes, man. But the point is this, that these Border Patrol agents, they're being enticed to take on this job because of poverty. You understand? Somebody give me 1 Timothy 6, 9, and 10. You understand? You know, when you put a salary, a check, you know what I'm saying, what you make over your people, man, then you basically a Judas, man. I mean, that's what happened with Judas, man. Christ was betrayed by a brother who valued money over brotherhood. You understand? 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 9.
Book of 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
But they that will be rich fall into temptation.
You fall into temptation. These Border Patrol agents, they have a desire and they have a dream to want to be rich. You understand? They come here with that goal. You know what I'm saying? Satan going to tempt you. He going to tempt you to go against your brother over a woman, go against your brother over a check, to go against your brother over your whatever lust you was dealing with, whether it's smoking cigarettes, weed. You understand? And you got to be able to have the love of your brother and the love of your people has to override what your personal gratification. You understand? It says those that would be rich, they fall into temptation. You fall into trial quicker. That's why Christ said, it's not easy for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. Why? Because like the sister said earlier, a gift destroys the heart. You want to take this $100,000 a year, but you don't want to have a crown and a throne and to rule over the whole earth with your brethren, man. Where your people have all the power. Where now you don't have to send your kids to a school where they can be shot up in a classroom by some psychopath transgender, man. You understand? Now the schools are set up to where what? Your people can go to school, your kids can go to school without forced integration. They're going to school they're being taught by their own, you understand, by their own people, and they're learning with their people. And it's safe, and the food is lawful. The education is about their culture and who they are and who their power is, man. Right. You understand? Right now, a lot of y'all are thinking about homeschool. Just today or yesterday, somebody ran up in a summer camp and tried to shoot it up in Texas, man. This just happened yesterday, I think. And now he was shot dead. But your kids are not even safe going to summer camp. This is the world that we live in, man. Right. Because we want to lock our own people up because we want to, we got to put some food on the table. Keep reading.
And the snare.
A trap. That's what a snare is. A snare is a trap. When you want to catch a wolf, man, you put a little piece of bloody meat, you know what I'm saying, on a spearhead, right, or a knife, and you put that bloody meat on there, and the wolf sees the bloody meat. If it's in the snow, you bury it under the snow to where the meat's hanging out, but it's being held up by a blade. The wolf runs up because why? He's hungry. He's hungry, man. And he goes and he bites at the meat, and then he tastes the blood, but he don't realize it's his tongue cut because he's biting. He's going at the meat, and he ends up biting and licking the meat, and he's cutting his own tongue, and the blood that's coming out of his own mouth, he's thinking it's the blood of the meat, man, and he's killing himself because he's so fixated on getting that meat, man. You understand? We have to have more sense, man, than to chase the meat on the knife. These Border Patrol agents have put they've chased what's hanging and dangling in front of them, man, against the lives of their own people, man, against the blood of their own people. See, we say for the blood of our brothers, man. You understand? For the blood of our brothers. You understand? For the blood of our brothers, we would never be Border Patrol agents. We would never be police that oppress our own people in their own neighborhoods, man. You understand? We go out to save our people, man, not destroy our people. Keep reading.
And into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
Into many foolish and hurtful lusts, man. I got to put food on the table. I took an oath. You know what I'm saying? You are of your father, the devil. Right. And his lust, what? You will fulfill. Everything that the white man tries to give us in this country is foolish.
Right.
It not only is it foolish, but it makes us foolish. I saw a video where these sisters was out on these cars. It was like a car rally, and they're twerking on the car. And some brothers or police officers, they run up on the car and grab the sisters and pull them off the hood from twerking and carry them around and pull the keys out the car and arrest the sisters, man. And I was like, Most High in Christ, excellent job. Excellent job. You know what I'm saying? These sisters had reached such a level of foolishness in their own neighborhood with little girls on the sidewalk watching that somebody had to come through and shut it down, man. You understand? The lust that they allow us to partake in and do, it's foolish and makes us a foolish people and makes us look foolish. Brothers think that they've achieved something because the white man has legalized marijuana, because he's legalized weed. Now they're smoking up all proud. They're proud now. I can smoke weed without fear of going to jail. You look foolish. You look foolish. Oh, I have the right to abort my baby. I have the freedom to abort my baby. You're killing your own child. You look foolish. Just like these Border Patrol agents locking up their own people and trying to explain it to everybody, you look and sound foolish, man.
That's right.
Salaki, go ahead, priest.
Which drown men in destruction and perdition.
Which drown men in destruction and perdition. Because when Christ comes, man, you can't say, oh, I had to feed my family. You understand? Christ know about feeding families. He took them 2 fish and them 5 loaves, all that they had. They didn't have much. But what was already decided is the little that I have, I'm going to use to help my people. And the Lord calls it to multiply. But you want to take what the oppressor gives you and multiply yourself. No brotherhood, man. Keep reading.
Down verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil.
The what?
The love of money is the root of all evil.
It's the root of all evil, man. You understand? It'll cause you to betray your people, man. To betray your king. You understand? Christ, man. That's how Christ was betrayed, over the love of money. It's the root of all evil, man. And what these Border Patrol agents are doing to their people is an evil thing, man. I'm going to end with this last precept, John 15 and 13. Commander General Yohana is raising up men and women in the ISUPK, man, to have a love, man. A love, you know what I'm saying, that's not like any other love, man. You understand? Like, to love is to suffer. It's to give and to expect nothing in return. It's to be in pain. You understand? To receive love is pleasure. But to give love is pain, man. It's gonna hurt. Your kids may have to wait 6 months for you to find, or they may not be able to have steak and rice. Now all they can have is rice and beans because you got to work a different kind of job because you refuse to oppress your own people as a Border Patrol agent, man. You understand what I'm saying? Them are the kind of choices that you got to make if you love your people.
Right.
You may not be able to make $10,000 a month, you know what I'm saying, sisters, you know what I mean, having an OnlyFans account. You know what I mean? Your kids might have to share, a pair of pants, or maybe you have to get your shoes from, I don't know, City Trends or something like that. You know what I mean? Or Shoe City. And you can't go to Foot Locker and spend $200 on a pair of shoes. But they have shoes covering their feet. And even though your job only pays you between, $15 and $20 an hour, and prices are going up, but you know what you do have? Your integrity. Your kids look at you with respect, man. My mama worked her butt off to take care of us and to feed us, and she didn't degrade herself to do it. She didn't show her box on OnlyFans for everybody to see. Can't no kid in my school say he saw my mommy on the internet for free, because the brothers go in and record them OnlyFans videos and post them for free. You know what I'm saying? So you got the bag right then and there, but now it's circulated forever on the net. It's never gonna go away. You understand? They ain't got to say my mommy works at Magic City and strips, you know what I'm saying, and shakes her tail on a pole to take care of me so I can have what? Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga sandals, Gucci. Integrity has to come to me more to us, and brotherhood has to come to me more to us than a bag.
Right.
Because read again for the what? Yeah, I'm sorry. No, for the love of money is the root of all evil, man. No, you can go ahead and hold that precept. Go ahead and bring that out in John, man. Our love has to supersede. Our love has to be more about, what we make and what we earn in this hell, man. Because to me, I'm not satisfied till I see the truth, until I see the kingdom of heaven, man. That should be the desire in everybody's heart. Go ahead, priest.
Verse like the book of John, chapter 15, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend.
That he what?
That a man lay down his life for his friend.
Laying down your life don't just mean, getting killed for your friends. Laying down your life is laying down your own aspirations, your own personal aspirations and desires, man, for the sake of your people. You can do that every single day, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You may want to just kick it all day and smoke weed, man, and play video games all day. But the Lord needs you to do the Lord needs you to do something else. He needs you to sober up, get cleaned up, learn your culture, learn these laws, come into this truth, and go and save your people. That's you laying down your life, man. You understand? Last scripture, man. Acts 1:8. Christ was teaching the disciples how the path to coming back into rulership and the path to being free. And you can't be free if you don't have no brotherhood, if you don't love your own people, man. You understand? You can't be free, eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, man. You understand? Attending a Christian church. You can't be free doing that, man. Those are distractions to keep you a slave, to keep you comfortable in your hell. You understand? Go ahead and bring that out. Acts 1:8.
Book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
But ye shall receive power.
No, go up some. 1:6.
Book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him. This
is the disciples after Christ rose again. You know what I'm saying? And because after Christ rose, he hung out for a little bit. He was around. He didn't just go straight up to the fourth dimension. He hung out a little bit, and they came to him and they asked the question. They were all gathered together, which is what we need to do: gather together. And once they gathered together, there was one thing on their mind. Go ahead.
Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
Read again.
They asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
When they had finally gathered together and came together and had love for each other, the only thing in their mind is, do we get rulership? Do we get rulership? When do we get rulership, man? You understand? And that's what should be on the minds of all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because if rulership is on your mind, being a slave to this oppressor is not going to be on your mind. $120,000 salary is not going to be anything that's going to pull you up out of loving your brother, man.
Right.
You understand? And that's what we have to do, man. We have to put our brother first. We have to put the love of this nation and rulership first, man. You know what I'm saying? But with that, unless there's any questions, I'm gonna go ahead and pass the class to Priest and Officer Caucasar, to read the security announcements, man.
These are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, start out on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world.
Right.
If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, in Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'ashara means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you.
Mm-hmm.
Gives to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, the free will offering for priests, is not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We have the memorial of blowing of We have the memorial of blowing of trumpets on the first day of the 7th month, coming up on Sunday, Sunday, the 25th of September, 2022, in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 and 25. Remind Akima Akwati to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boot, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And this includes ISUPK security announcements.
Okay, hey, the water. So I mijum, which means to stand. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer. Asar, face the east. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak Wakah, Taba'ah, Ratazayakah, Hayah, Aisha, Baratazah, Kawah, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakum, Call, Yawam, Wasalat Yanawa, Kabawaf Yanawa, Kasalat Yanawa, Kabawaf Yanawa, Wala'ah, Taba, Asalakia, Tabayai, Asalakia, Tabayai Anawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawa Shanawa, Hayashai Wanawa, Salakia, Mayan, Ra'ah, Kaya, Laka, Hamalatwa, Waha Allah, Salakia, Waha Allah, Waha Para, La'awalamyam, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Sorry. I want to give a crazy salute to the Akim, men of Israel, Mount Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Brakatah. Sar, face the sisters. Men of Israel, Mount Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shema Latam Bashim Yahushua. Yazmatar. Class dismissed.